Good morning, my hearties. A very good morning to you, and welcome to Scottie McClue's live stream on YouTube. Welcome, 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 I say. Great to have you all with us. And of course, the very best of the morning. This is just a random pop-up. We're testing another new piece of equipment this morning. So let me know, a bit of technical feedback. Let me know how things are looking. And of course, feel free to feedback. That's never a problem. All right. So, you know, if you want to say, look, it's too bright or it's too dull, it's too shiny, you know, you're too good, you're not good enough, any of these things, do feel free to feedback, because I think it's very, very important. And if you've just joined us, then a very warm welcome. Of course, I'm Scottie McClue, the world's top broadcaster, the first lord of the internet. That's the biggest. And of course, the world's most humble man. That's the most important. So there we are. We like that stuff. And welcome, welcome. I can see you're all on the YouTube channel. What I'm not quite understanding, and maybe you could explain this, there's 2,500 people on Scottie McClue's YouTube channel right now. Even although there's just a handful watching this live stream, there's 2,500 on the channel right now, and I just have, I think, about 2,250 subscribers. Now, that's 2,500 watching, not this live stream, but all the Scottie McClue videos on Scottie McClue's YouTube channel. So can you explain why, you know, at some point in a day, in one day, I can have 2,500, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people perusing Scottie McClue's YouTube channel, and I've only got 2,200 subscribers. Now, I wonder what's stopping these people from clicking subscribe. And I wondered if perhaps they thought just with the word subscribe, maybe it meant some kind of exchange of pennies, some sort of coin of the realm. No, 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 no. It's absolutely free. And I posted a video yesterday to that effect. Have you been told that subscribing to YouTube, to Scottie McClue's YouTube channel, is absolutely free? And ask yourself, it only takes a couple of seconds, what is there not to do? You know, that's the sort of thing. So can you have a think about that? And if you're seeing me for the first time, log in, subscribe, tap the bell, all that sort of stuff. A good pizza says, hello there, hello, Karim Zakaria. Hello, a very good morning to you, Karim. Lovely to have you with us. And Dinky-Doo, lots and lots of light around today. Absolutely incredible. In fact, I'm just wondering if we need that one. Is that any better? Does that improve things somewhat? So there you are. Karim, can you answer me that? Why we've got 2,500 people on Scottie's YouTube channel right now. Only a handful watching, fair enough. But I've only got 2,400 subscribers. I find that very strange. What's happened here? Oh, my goodness me. Hold on. Calamity, calamity. Who used to say that? Who can remember calamity, calamity? Well, we're all right. We're back in business now. Just something decided to take a wee tumble to itself. Fantastic. So there we are. So do have a look at that. And as I say, feel free to subscribe. Very, very important. Now, I'm testing out new equipment. So tell me, how is the picture? Tell me, how is the speeds? Any distortion or anything like that? Do let me know. Very, very important. I'll do a bit of sharing and let everybody know what's what. That's fantastic. Just so that we know we're on, because not a soul will have a clue that we're on at the moment. So there you are, the world's best kept secrets. Good morning, Sir Scottie. Good morning, Robert Strimger. How lovely to have you with us. And Dinky-Doo, a very, very warm welcome to Scottie McClue's live stream random pop-up just for you, Dinky-Doo. So there we are, excellent stuff. No, the speeds seem to be quite good. I'm quite pleased with that. Scotty's second mortgage approved, having a viewing on Thursday in Carlisle. Scottie, you're looking fine. Karim, I am delighted about your wonderful house in Carlisle. Are you thinking about retiring there in 30 years' time or something like that? How fantastic would that be? I'll just type a welcome to you all. There we are. Welcome. welcome, welcome. It's nice to see you. Right, there we are. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good stuff. Why you're not wearing your wee microphone headset? I've got it here. Is it affecting the sound? The microphone's very powerful, and I think it can pick things up. Oh, my goodness. I can hear myself back here. Fantastic. That is just incredible. I'm hearing myself back. Yes, that's it. Ah, now, yes, we like that. There we are. Slight delay between one and t'other. Is that nice and clear now, guys? I'll just pop the old mic round there, let you know what's what. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I missed an E off the middle welcome. Good morning, Scottie. I was at dinner the other evening with Roddy from Arbroath. He was telling me he produced your Scott FM radio show. Yes, absolutely. So there we are. Any good story? Oh, my goodness, Johnny. Yes, stories. So there were, not that I would tell them on a live stream, I always say. So there you go. Fantastic stuff. And I'll just say good morning. Good morning. There we are. Wonderful stuff. Now, let's do a bit of sharing, guys, just to get this out there. Very, very important. Get the sharing done, because otherwise, nobody's got a clue we've popped up, you know. So we'll just say that we're live now. And welcome, welcome, welcome. There we are. Lovely. That's always popular. And I'll just do a bit of sharing. I'll share to YouTube at the moment. So can we remember that it's free to subscribe on YouTube? And if anybody hasn't subscribed, please do it, because it makes all the difference. I'm after 1 million subscribers. Very, very important. 1 million subscribers. That's what we're looking at here. Live now. Live now. And I'll just put join us, shall I? Would that be a nice touch? Join us. Yes. And I'll put subscribe. Subscribe, because it's free. And I'll put brackets. Yes, why not? Brackets free. There we are. That's wonderful. Right. That lets that go there. And what I'll do is I'll just pop in the URL, because I think that's important. Would it help you, URL there? Of course it does. Excellent. And we'll put that in. Kareem, I'm absolutely delighted with your plans. I think that's a very smart move, by the way. So there we are, because you've got the Lake District on your doorstep, you know, and it's also a lovely, lovely part of the world. And a lovely big shop just off the motorway there, and lots of lovely local shops once the old lockdown changes and that sort of thing, Kareem, you know. Have the time of your life. Good morning. Random pop-up are good. Regular weekly tries for continuity, and people will get used to routine. It all takes time. It does, Kareem, but I want to get the equipment right. There's no point in me popping up at a regular time every night to do the show if we haven't got the very best of equipment in place, and going, oh, sorry about that. Sorry, I've lost you all. Oh, we're struggling with the internet tonight. You know, all that sort of stuff. So that's what we need to get sorted. And we also need to see if we can multi-stream. So as you've probably heard, there's more RAM going into the laptop. A lot more RAM. We've cleared 94 gigs of disk space. We've got the latest equipment from the Wi-Fi provider, yes, which just arrived this morning. So there we are. So excellent. So we're getting there. It all takes a wee bit of time. And you also, Kareem, although you know who I am, people are used to hearing me on the radio. So they might get the voice, but the pop-up, they say, who's the old bearded guy in the bonnet? And that's why it needs to have Scottie McClue First Lord of the Internet across the bottom there. So we're working on that as well. Once all that's set up, we can make a start. Are you with me? We can make a start, Kareem. That's a start. So there are starters. J-Dog, the man for tech, he's away golfing today. Probably, yes. Bit of a top man, though. Excellent stuff. And he's been a tremendous help, of course, just back and forward because, you know, I mean, my generation weren't brought up on this stuff. So we had to learn it. We had to learn it. Right, I'll pop that out. Just let people know that we're live now. Wonderful stuff. So that's all sounding great, Kareem. I like the idea of that. It sounds to me like you're really onto a bit of a winner there. You know, and then you can decide. You can have a foot in both camps, as they say. I think Carlisle used to belong to Scotland, am I right? I'm pretty sure it did, you know, all these sort of things. Pop it into the group as well. And just let everybody know. Share the group. It's going to do, there we are. Wonderful stuff. Pop that in and let everybody know what is what. Oh, right, here we got here. Yes, the golf. Do you golf, Kareem? Are you a golfing man? I never have been. As I say, somebody said to me, Scottie, I think I might be able to get you into the golf club, and it's pretty prestigious, you know. There's a lot of people desperate to get in there. And I said to him, well, don't you put yourself out, because I don't golf. Wonderful, wonderful. This is what happens, you know. Might be able to get you into the golf club. It's very prestigious. I like inclusive clubs, not exclusive clubs. You know, I don't need to be away from the people. I like to be right there in among the people. Very much. So we'll get all that sorted. So can you see where I'm coming from, Kareem? This is the major plan at the moment, is to get everything sorted out in the background. It's a bit like painting, which is, what did somebody say? Was it 90% preparation? If you're painting properly, to get that finish, you know, where you can see your face in the doors and everything. That sort of idea. If you talk to proper painters, all the preparation, the rubbing down, the smooth surface, the undercoating, the cleaning first, rubbing down, smooth surfaces, undercoating, all that sort of idea. And we like that. We think that's very, very important. There we are. I'm just sending out a few bits and pieces now to people so folk will get the idea. We still haven't done the tweet. We can do the tweet. It's a good time to do a tweet. Scotland will always be home for me and my thrust for independence. Speaking to folk in Carlisle, most people say England pays Scotland's bills. This is what they've been fed, you see. Remember, there's huge, huge, huge efforts put in to dissing Scotland, to dissing the Scottish people, to making out that Scotland doesn't finance the UK, doesn't send 70 or 75 billion to Westminster every year to pay their bills. Scotland's a massive cash cow, you know, and there's a natural arrogance about we don't want to let it go because it would founder. You see, that sort of idea, that's a nonsense. Now, I'm not political, as you well know, and I'm no great nationalist or separatist or anything like that, but I do resent the fact that, you know, the truth gets misconstrued. You know, Scotland is a very, very, very wealthy nation, full of incredibly intelligent people, right? We just need to make sure that the anti-monarchists don't make the whole independence bid founder. Very important. You know, our head of state is our sovereign lady, Her Majesty the Queen. That has to be acknowledged. You know, her future within an independent Scotland has to be secured 100%. There needs to be clarity, because I noticed some half-witted idiots the other night shouting for a republic. Forget that. That's the rock that independence will perish on. a republic. Not acceptable, not happening. All right, you're also, of course, isolating 50% of the vote, because people who are monarchists and loyal to the monarchy are certainly not going to vote for anything that doesn't mean the monarchy is 100% involved. All right, now it's also a bit of a side issue. Her Majesty the Queen has very, very kindly, granted permission that parliamentary sovereignty for Scotland is in the hands of the Scottish people. She, however, is ultimately sovereign. She is the sovereign, and that power could be taken back if the Scots don't wise up to that one. So once that's sorted, then Westminster can't really have any objections apart from the fact they might lose a bit of their income. But I'm sure they can get it from somewhere else, because the Scots don't want Brexit. They don't want to be out of Europe. They don't want any of that nonsense at all. Yes, and Scotland's had a monarchy for 2,347 years. The monarchy is a Scottish institution. Even the present incumbent, Her Majesty the Queen, is 50% Scots. Her mother was 100% Scots. She has a Scottish title. She's the Duchess of Edinburgh. Her husband and her sons were all educated in Scotland. Her grandson went to university in Scotland. They've all got Scottish titles. The crowns are united. It's the parliaments that we're talking about splitting. But, you want to be running your own show. Scotland needs to be hanging on to its own income. Once we are flush, we could look at helping Westminster out if they were struggling in certain areas. Yeah? So that's the kind of way we need to be thinking. That's the kind of way we need to be talking. Have we got that? So God save the Queen and God save Scotland. Right? Have we got that? Very important. Right. Scottie, the Queen loves Scotland. She does. Absolutely. Robert Scrimger, so what have we got here? Let's have the chat. Oh, right. Oh, we're busy here. We're busy here this morning, guys. Scotty, hello, my friend. Hope you're well. Dinky-Doo. There we are. Hello, Scotty. This is the wonderful Gordon Robertson joining you from a park bench in Botanic Gardens where Oliver is sitting on my knee trying to hide from the wind. He's quite right. Yes, indeed. You shouldn't be doing the wind, but you are in a public place. Good morning, Scotty. This is Magnus. Good morning, Magnus. I think the three-tier approach that Nicola Sturgeon's copying off Boris isn't bad, though, Scotty. We need alignment as devolved nations to work together. Well, you've got to remember that Westminster was copying Scotland throughout the pandemic. So I think if we want to take a good idea, then why not? And hello, Olivia. I had an anti-monarchist friend having a go at me yesterday for liking the institution. Well, Robert Scrimger, there's nothing to have a go about. A Republic of Scotland, never, never, never. To quote the late Reverend Ian Paisley. Right, well, mind you, Ian Paisley wasn't the finest example of peaceful transition that I've met, but he did come round in the end. Someone said the Queen would never allow independence, even if Scotland voted yes. The Queen has a role in Scotland, like it or not. Absolutely. Well, I'm not saying the Queen wouldn't allow independence. I think she would feel if that is genuinely the will of the people and the future of the monarchy is 100% clear and secured, then we can look at it. But that's where the dafties need to zip it. Oh, I'm definitely monarchy. Oh, yes. That's what we're wanting. Absolutely. The dafties need to zip it. Rob Scrimger, he argued she isn't a public servant. She's a privileged lady. No, not a privileged lady. She didn't ask for that office, right? And while it will be a privilege to run the world, you know, and, you know, while it will be that, it's not, how can I put you know, I think the people who say that do not understand what privilege actually entails. Do you hear what I just said there? Entails, right? Very important. So there we are. With independence, Scotland would not leave the United Kingdom. There would still be a union of the crowns. You're absolutely 100% correct, Gordon Robertson. Yes, and it doesn't pain me to say that. No. I'm like you. I'm a big person. I can take it. So they are. Dinky-Doo, good man. Dark Hall, Dinky-Doo. My dad was in the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders, and my Uncle Angus, Scotty. Yes, Thomas, absolutely, the Argylls. A very, very fine regiment. I have family connections with the Argylls. I could tell you all about the Argylls. Do you remember Colin Mitchell? Called Mad Mitch, Lieutenant Colonel Mitchell. Fantastic. Hi, Scotty. Hello, Anthony. Dinky-Doo. And a very good morning to you. Welcome. We're just sorting out the dafties. We are sorting out the dafties. Did I comment that? Have I posted this? What's going on here? Oh, yes. Right. Okay. Now, let's get back to that. Wonderful. Don't worry about the cough. Had it for 20 years. So good morning, Anthony. Lovely to have you with us, and Dinky-Doo. So just let people know about that, folks. Tip them the wink. Have I put this out to Scottie McClue? To the big Scottie McClue page? Let's just do that. Let everybody know what's what. We'll just keep sharing until people understand. So, hi, how are you today, Anthony? Are you in good nick, I say? Are you in top nick? Fantastic. This is just, there was no advance warning of this pop-up, so there you go. But what I don't understand, Anthony, while you're on here, when I joined, 2,500 people were on the Scottie McClue YouTube channel looking at videos. Right? 2,500. Now, I've only got 2,400 subscribers. I don't understand. You know, what's going on there? What is going on? Do people think it costs to subscribe because of the nature of the word, I ask you? Right? So there we go. So everybody should be subscribing to Scottie McClue all the time, I say. Wonderful. Right. What else have we got here? Well, just, I'll tell you what to do. I'm sending a tweet. This is a good time to send out a tweet. Right. So we'll put that in. Wonderful. There we are. Excellent. If you've just joined us, a very, very good morning to you. This is a random pop-up by Scottie McClue. Fantastic. Now, there it is. Ah, yes. So what I'll do, take that out, put that up there. Fantastic. Right, I'm in the middle of a tweet. So do give us a shout. Let us know what is what. There we are. And we'll put on, yes, that's all right. So they've got that. Good. And I'll just put on this. We are Tuesday, aren't we? Tuesday. Wonderful. Let everybody know what's what. You can't beat it, I say. It's wonderful stuff. Right. That's all they're getting. That's all they've paid for, I say. So I'll send this. So there's a tweet going out right now. Follow Scottie McClue. Ed Kemper's mother, this is boring. Well, I'm sorry that your tiny, tiny boredom threshold doesn't extend to watching the world's top broadcaster and the first lord of the internet. You see? So maybe it's not for you. You might be better at going back and finishing your two-piece jigsaw, or maybe a wee bit of colouring in. Yes, and that might mean that your tiny boredom threshold wasn't so bored. Okay, right, there we are. That's him told. There we are. All right, Watts, says Tam. Hello, Tam. It's good to see you popping up. There's a rumour going around that you've done a runner. No, Gordon, you mustn't judge every day by yourself. I would not do a runner, as you know. There we are. What we're doing, we're just getting the equipment sorted out. And I think that's very, very important. So that's what's happening there, Gordon. And we've got new equipment that's just arrived today. So you're watching it right now. Is it a nice, clear signal you're getting? You're out on your mobile in the park. Don't you use up all your data now? Fantastic. Susan Shaw, hi, Scottie. How are you? Excellent, Susan. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. Scottie, it's not boring, you cheeky person. Thank you, Tam. Excellent there. That's you told. Some of these people have got a tiny, tiny boredom threshold. You know, if it's not, they're used to gaming, you know, and to killing all the opposition, and that's a doot, 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 doot. That's their life. So when they meet a real human being, a broadcaster, podcaster, first lord of the internet, too much for them. Overload. Overload, real human, chit-chatting. There we are, that sort of idea. That's what's wrong with these people. Sounding good and looking sharp, says Anthony. So there we are. Great reply to Ed, says Magnus. No, that's what he deserved, Magnus. Ed says, look how much I triggered this simp. So there you are. Well, Ed, you are the simp, and I've obviously triggered you, or you wouldn't have come on. So let's just say, Ed, triggered. Okay, excellent stuff. There we go. Scottie, I'll say Dinky-Doo, enjoy your day. See you when you're on again. Take care, Lala. And you, Kareem La, take great care of your dear self. Have a fantastic day, and good luck with all that. What's right will happen. Fantastic. Lovely part of the world. I know it so well. If you're driving in, Kareem, if you're going along the Warwick Road, the main road into Carlisle, along the Warwick Road, right, you'll see a left-hand turn, Eastern Way. That's where Border Television was based. And I used to go and work there. So there we go. Fantastic. Johnny says, Scottie, my friend, Jamil's not feeling too great at the moment. Can you sing a wee song to cheer him up? Johnny, I can't actually sing songs simply because we'll trigger, to use Ed's word, trigger, we love that. We'll trigger the copyright claims, but I can wish them all the very, very best. I can do that. That's fantastic stuff. Delighted about that. You're too intelligent for cheeky people like her, Scottie. Absolutely, Tam. We do not want the wee cheekies on. So there you are. So it could be a lifetime ban for the one I have just triggered. Trigger. The simp. Can you not make a song up, Scottie? I could probably make up a wee song for you. See a cow on yonder hillock, go up and ask for milk, and then when you're there you can say, take care, Jamil, and have a wonderful day. See what I just did there? I composed a song. There we are. I made a wee song up, Johnny. How about that? Did we like that? Wonderful. Right. More sharing, guys. Let me know what's happening here with the tweet. There we are. Has everybody gone on to Twitter and followed at Scottie McClue? Thank you, legend. Not at all, Johnny. I'm living in your mind rent-free, says Ed Kempers. Ed, you know, I am your mind. All right, so there you are. When I say jump, you say how high. Yes. What's been happening, Scottie? Oh, lots, Tam. Absolutely lots. So they were very, very busy. We're preparing for the phone-in time. Now, that is the big one when we get that going. So you'll have seen some test transmissions, some of them a wee bit technically dodgy, not quite 100%, but we will get there, I tell you. Now, what's subscribing to YouTube is free. Here we are. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So there we go. Now, right, so excellent. A good whack of people have seen that tweet already. Scottie, have you heard me singing my Elvis songs on my YouTube channel? No, but I'll have a look, Thomas. Sounds amazing. I own you, says Ed. You've already been owned and roasted, Ed. So there you go. Roasted, triggered, and owned. Woo! See what I just did there? Fantastic. So there we are. But no, we'll have a listen to that. That should be amazing stuff. We may yet look at that. And of course, Elvis, still highly, highly popular Elvis. Don't get it twisted. Ed, straight as a die, always non-twisted. I can't say the same for you. Red card for Ed? Absolutely, yes. Yes. We've triggered the simp. Triggered the simp. We say, McClue's triggered the simp. There we go. So there you go, Ed. I mean, which one of us is streaming and which one of us is watching? Ask yourself that simple question. Wonderful. Who's streaming and who's watching? Yes. I think I've just seen Elvis here in Botanic Gardens. Gordon Robertson, you never know, did Elvis ever appear on BBC Scotland, I wonder? That would be interesting to find out. And perhaps there could be a wee ghost over in the Botanics, because all the stars, I think, that came to BBC Scotland probably had a wee walk in Botanic Gardens when they came out, including Scottie McClue. That's wonderful stuff. I can always remember when I was doing a broadcast at BBC Scotland, and there was a wee party afterwards, and it went on quite late, and I got locked in the car park, and a wonderful security man said to me, "I'll let you out, Scottie." And we were going downstairs to the car park, and he was saying it was great. It was great to have Scottie McClue because, unlike some stars, he wasn't up himself, So with that sort of stuff. Anyway, I said, well, I've been flung out the BBC, but I've never been locked in. So there we are. Red card, Ed. Yes, we'll red card him. I'm just about to red card him. Fear not. Fear not. There we are. And what we'll do is page manage. We'll share here. Sharing here. Wonderful. So I think when we get the phone in going, folks, and thanks very much for all your support, for sticking with me. Tremendous stuff. So there we are. Thomas says Henrik Larsson was bigger than Elvis. Yes, I don't know what height Elvis was. I'm sitting at the Kibble Palace and looking across to the old broadcasting house on Queen Margaret Drive. Now, can I tell you, Gordon, when I was a little boy in Greenock, there was a huge mansion. And the huge mansion got knocked down. And massive, massive mansion. And they built a whole school on the garden. A whole school on the garden. Now, there was a house similar to that on Roseneath. Yes, Roseneath, I think it was. And there was this massive house built by the same architect around 1863. And attached to that house was a massive, massive conservatory, right? And when that house was demolished, the conservatory was taken to Glasgow and set up in the Botanic Gardens as the Kibble Palace. So when you're looking at the Kibble Palace, you're looking at the conservatory from a big Scottish house in the days when people in Scotland had money before they got robbed by being part of the United Kingdom. So there we are. Oh, Ed, I think you've crossed a line there, La. So there we are. Ed's gone. Oh, dear. There we are. Crossed a line. There we are. Well said, Thomas. So there you are. What have we got here? You'll see my Sonny in the background all lit up, Scotty. Yes, excellent stuff. Well said, Thomas. What's Thomas said? Let's see. Oh, yes. Now, Robert is saying, numismaticity is the study of coins. I know, because I've been recently talking to a numismatist. And today is numismatist day, isn't it? Because I used to collect coins and then I had a house burglary and they took them. And it's a shame, a wee one's collection just taken. Question of the day, Scotty. Numismatics is the study of what? Well, coins, Robert. Yes, absolutely. I could tell you that. Red card, Ed, please. He's gone. You'll never hear of Ed again. He's gone. He crossed a line. This is what happens when these half-witted idiots lose their argument. They will mention something ridiculous in the hope that it will shock, because they've lost their argument. They know they've lost it. There's actually a syndrome, and people will mention a certain party involved in Germany in the 1930s when they've lost their argument. You'll also see people on social media will swear and not realize that that completely devalues the post. 100%. So that daft person, what was it, Ed there, that wee soul had lost their argument, so they thought they'd turn to abuse. That's what you get. So there you are. That's the half-wit for you. The stream police are back. I got this, McClue. Will the phone in be Skype calls? Yes, Robert Scrimger. But we need to get the profanity device sorted because of the half-witted idiots, the tiny minority that spoil it for the majority. That's always the problem. The tiny majority that spoil it, the tiny minority that spoil it for the majority. And that's the world, if you think about it. Always a tiny minority. I mean, you think everything was working superbly in this country. We were a member of the world's top trading bloc. With our good friends and allies, Germany, we controlled 30% of a world market of 510 million people and 28 countries. We sat at the top table. If there were deals to be done under WTO or whatever, with America or China or India or Africa, the EU could do these deals because it had serious clout. 28 countries representing 510 million people. For some reason, we shot ourselves in the foot, and we've lost all of that. Made ourselves effectively a tin pot third world country. Tut, tut, tuttity, tut, 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 tut. And the majority for coming out of Europe was 1.2 million. If you strip out the people who were taken in by the fibs on the side of a big red bus about giving £350 million directly to the NHS every week, then you're left with 674,000 of a majority taking nearly 70 million people away from its trading bloc, from their income. Right? So just watch that lot. Very, very interesting. And not a reason for it. There's absolutely no reason. If you think about it, just before the so-called referendum, which was effectively an opinion poll, there was no requirement for the government to act on it at all. They could have said, thanks very much, folks, for your opinions. Very interesting, right? No requirement at all. So ask yourself, who exactly benefits from leaving the EU? Certainly not the UK. All right? Now, have a wee think about that. Very interesting, because, 70 million people have lost their EU citizenship and their right to freedom of movement. 4 countries have been dragged kicking and screaming out of their EU, our EU, which we built up over 50 years. Peace and prosperity. Yeah, absolutely. And I know that the xenophobes, the Afghanites, were being watched from the back by the Hooray Henrys. Yes, so they are a wee gaggle of Afghanites, a gaggle of garnets watched from the back by a handful of Hooray Henrys. Tot, tot, totity, tot. Tot, 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 tot. So think about that, because it doesn't make any sense. The government told us not to leave the EU. We all got a booklet. Protect jobs, protect the economy, blah, 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 all that. And you had a handful, ignored that, and that got pushed into being the will of the people. Ho, ho, ho. I think not. Anyway, that's that. So there you go. Wonderful stuff. Tell 10 to tell 10. Scottie McClue's live. Thomas says, I'll keep an eye out for effing and jeffing and trolls for you, Scottie. Thanks, Stan. Ed, you can ban me here, but we'll see who gets the last laugh. No, Ed, sorry. There you go. Absolutely. There's no laugh at all, Ed. Nobody gets a laugh about that, right? So there we are. And if that happened, we'll see who gets put in the slammer. There we are. Call that the last laugh. So there we go. And we'll just hide him. Fantastic. There we are. A nasty, nasty, nasty piece of work. Remember the 1933 penny that was worth a lot of money if you had one, Scottie? Yes, absolutely. And do you remember... now wait a minute, what was it? An Edward the Eighth, was that the one? It would be too early. An Edward the Eighth coin. There were a few of them minted. The king that abdicated, King George's brother. So there we are. Ban that person. Well, that person's banned, Susan. That's a nasty, nasty, nasty piece of work. As you know, Susan, there are a few nasty pieces of work out there. We need to just keep an eye on them. There we are. Dangerous, damaging people. Yes, damaged people, I think, actually. Anybody that feels they have to come on a live stream and cheek up with that sort of nonsense is real tot-tot-tottity-tot, and is heading for a life in the slammer, I would think. There we are. So they are banned. Nasty, nasty. Tot-tot-tottity-tot, I say. Isn't it interesting? Because why not, if you don't like what I do, why not just go? Why watch? Why stick around? If I don't want to listen to a radio program, I put it off. If I don't want to watch the telly, I put it off. But these people come on and cheek up. Wonderful stuff. So there we are. So that person is banned, and I have privileges, Susan. So as I think I've said to you before, so I can see who's doing it. Sometimes it's a wee bit shocking. And there we are, a wee bit shocking when you find out who it actually is. You think, tot, tot, tottity, tot, And as you know, it can, really be quite... But no, that's a very nasty piece of work. Last laugh. What's funny about anything like that? My goodness me. So there we are. The EU is no more bureaucratic than a lot of other European parliaments and parliaments anywhere, but the economic benefits, as you say, far outweigh that. Robert Scrimger, people have got very short memories, and very short memories for detail. The UK was nearly bust. The First World War virtually clobbered the UK, because like a pandemic, it was right across Everybody, all the class system, so your aristocrats, everybody was getting shot and killed in France and Germany. So First World War, almost a third of a generation perished. Second World War, I think if we look at it, was it 16 million deaths across the lot. So Second World War, 16 million deaths. So you lost all your workforce. So the First World War broke down Britain. The Second World War really clobbered it seriously. And, too punitive in 1919 in the Treaty of Versailles. So you had all that going on. And then, got through the Second World War and rebuilt a lot of our country, rebuilt our health service, all that sort of stuff. And then in came the greedies. Started damaging the infrastructure, what have you, closing everything down. So we were, by 1966, begging to be saved before we went bust. And I think, was it 68, we begged to join the common market. And President Charles de Gaulle said no. He didn't want the roast beefs into the common market, stamping all over it and shouting the odds. And in 1946, Winston Churchill's dearest wish was for a United States of Europe with a European army, with a single commander. And that was the future. That was the way ahead. That was the way to deal with the superpowers, to create your own superpower. So that's what Churchill wanted, a United States of Europe. In other words, an EU. Yeah. And all the lies that were made up, we lost our sovereignty. We didn't. We want our country back. It's never been anywhere. We've never lost our country. But what we have gained is incredible infrastructure. Scotland was really quite backward in the 50s and 60s in terms of transport and infrastructure, apart from the railways were excellent. And of course, Beeching put paid to that in 1963. So the railways got clobbered. So one of the things that worked really well in Scotland got clobbered. And that was that. But the infrastructure, look at that. We had the killer A9. Look at that fabulous, fabulous motorway. Look at the money that's come into Scotland from Europe. Tremendous stuff from the European coffers. And then you've got your trade on top of that and your seat at the big table. All gone. All gone because of a few wee off garnets been worked from the back by a handful of hooray Henrys hoping to make a fast buck. Tut tut, tutty tut, tut 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 tut. And of course, when the cat's away, the mouse will play. So, if we've not got the scrutiny of Europe on our laws and working conditions, and other countries will be waiting in the wings to buy the UK and asset strip it. That's the next one to watch. So there you are. So if you're thinking Brexit's still a good idea, have another wee think. Have another wee think. And remember, I'm totally 100% apolitical. I don't have any affiliation to any group or party or anything like that. I'm just giving you the facts. Yeah. Because I owe it to the people, and the people are due them. Just rise above people like that, Scottie. Low lives. Oh, a very low life, that head, yeah. Very low life indeed. I'm going to make a song up about Dinky-Doo, Scottie, and sing it on my channel. This is Thomas Penman. Thank you, Thomas. Yes, you need to make it up so you don't get a copyright strike. But there we go. If you've just joined us, folks, a very, very warm welcome. You're watching Scottie McClue, the world's top broadcaster, the first lord of the internet, and the world's most humble man. We're live streaming just for you on YouTube, a random pop-up on a Tuesday morning. And what we're doing is testing some new equipment that's just arrived. So I hope you're getting a good signal, as they say. So there we are. Thomas, that would be great. Right, I'm going to do some more sharing. Can everybody share? Everybody share. Scottie McClue, just for you. There we are. What's that do? I wonder. This is interesting. Yes. There we are. I forgot about that, Scotty. Yes. So you make sure it's yours, Tom. Don't be putting it, to a very well-known tune or anything like that. Yes, Thomas. No, we rise above that. I mean, these idiots are out there. I mean, people in the media get trolled endlessly for some reason, and I think we triggered that wee guy just because we pointed out that he was daft. So then he starts, just sending out abuse and then making wild threats. And of course, if anything like that did happen, he's the one that would end up in the old hokey pokey. Yes, indeed. So there we are. I think they don't realize they get carried away with their own importance or non-importance. They get carried away with their own obscurity. These people. It always makes me laugh. Yes, always makes me laugh. Right, we're going to carry on with the sharing, just let everybody know what's what. Guys, feel free to come and go. There's no problem at all. You don't need to have any great loyalty to watching Scottie McClue, I can tell you that. I think as well, Scotty, Europe for a long time needed Britain's armed forces protection. We're a member of NATO, yes, from 1948, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Strongest standing European armies of the 60s and 70s were France and the UK. Absolutely. And I think that, Germany would have been limited about her army because, if you think about it, a lot of British troops were stationed in Germany after 1945 and after 1948. Scott, have you ever been to Denny, where I was raised, driving Thomas Penman? I know Denny very, very well indeed. Yes, I can quote things about Denny that you would think, wow, how does he know that? Denny and Dunipace. Very nice. And of course, you're not that far away from Camelin and Falkirk. Denny and Dunipace, Camelin and Falkirk. Wonderful. Right, I'll put this up here, guys, just to let everybody know that they can come and watch. Fantastic. So we're testing equipment this morning. Can I have some technical feedback? How is it looking? Yes, how is it looking? How's the signal doing? How's the line, as we say? Yes. No, I think media people are probably something of a magnet for wee simps. And that's what you get. There we are. Right. I just posted that, so that'll let people know. And we want to align ourselves with Trump and America, Scotty. As soon as Trump got elected in America, what happens there has happened here. So we get Boris, who Scotland didn't vote for. I think there's a saying that what happens in America 10 years later happens in the UK, right? Up to 10 years later. So a maximum of 10 years later. So if you have a breakdown of law and order in America, you'd have it in the UK. And we are a little bit Americanized, but we have to be careful because countries come up for sale from time to time. And in the 1960s, we had what was called with a special relationship with the UK. And, money changed hands for countries. That's the idea that Britain wanted out of, but America thought it could become the world's policeman. So that's the idea. But what you've got to remember with freedom comes responsibility. And I think that becoming the world's policeman is expensive. And America's found out this to her cost. But since the War of Independence and the American Civil War in the 1860s, I can remember a set of bubblegum cards at school we all collected about the American Civil War. You got a wee sliver of pink bubblegum, and you got cards, and you collected them all and swapped them. They're a wee wrapper. There was also another series called Golden, Golden Boys? I think, was it Golden Boys? And it was pop stars like Cliff Richard and things like that. And you could collect them. And there was one in footballers. And you got them with bubble gum, not chewing gum. You bought them at the van for tuppence, which would be less than 1 penny, 1 UP. And you could swap all these things, it's fantastic. And I can remember these footballers and things like that getting swapped around. But there was the American Civil War. And that would be around 1965. So that was 100 years. I remember thinking, this is 100 years ago. And since that, America did not want war on its own land. So it's always gone and fought wars elsewhere. Yeah, absolutely. That sort of thing. Yes, so there we are. They didn't want war in their own land, a bit like the UK with the Civil War. That was a mess. Bunch of cowards killing the king. Perfect line, says Magnus. Good line, Magnus. My granddad played for Denny Hibbs with Sir Matt Busby. Sir Matt Busby. Fantastic. He was a great guy. Busby's Babes, Manchester United. And when I walked down at Media City in Salford, right behind me was Man U. And it was the year Alex Ferguson was in charge, Sir Alex, and it was the year they won everything. 1998. Manchester was just alive with it. It was a very exciting time. McClue has always found himself right at the centre of the universe, just when these things are happening. And it's just purely by chance, I say. So there we are. So the line is excellent, Magnus. We like that. And I give thanks for that. Fantastic stuff. So we'll see what's happening. I'm just sharing around, guys, to let people know what's what. People will be going for lunch now. But we'll see what's happening here. I think it's important. Now, is there anything else needing shared? Can everybody share? Wonderful stuff. And thank you for watching this morning. It's been tremendous just to have a bit of a pop-up and say what's what. And some very, very good stuff in this morning's show, guys. Thank you very much for that. Very important. I'm just doing a wee bit more sharing, if that's okay. I'll share in a group here because I think that's also important. There we are. Now, that's always that's a great one to share. Right, that's that shared. Fantastic stuff. Before he became Sir Matt, yes, he would just be Matt Busby. My granddad was John Wallace. Famous name. How amazing. Isn't it wonderful? And in those days, they wouldn't be playing for big money. I mean, nowadays, your granddad, there would have been a window and he'd have got bought up for millions. Wonderful. Superb. And of course, Matt Busby would have known him, so he may have got a game for Man U. So I'm going to have my lunch. Have a lovely day, Scotty. Stay safe. And you, Susan Shaw. Lovely to have you on. Dinky-Doo. Scotty, what's your favourite fact about Scotland? That the original boat person came across in something much smaller than a rubber dinghy on a very, very wild crossing and ended up coming in as an immigrant to Scotland and started Christianity in 534. St. Columba. Yes, St. Columba. So there we are. So We never know. There goes Christ in a stranger's guise. There goes Christ in the stranger's guise. Very, very interesting. So there we are. So I would say that's one of my favourite facts about Scotland. Also that the monarchy is a Scottish institution, and the Scottish monarchy took over the English crown. There we are. So we need to support our monarchy big time. Wonderful. What other facts? The facts that Scotland subsidises the UK. There's another fact for you. Did you know, Scotty, in the 1960s you could get Baird's televisions after the inventor himself? Yes, they were. There was a company, but there was also a Baird system. I think that was the one with the cardboard and the discs. And John Reith did not adopt the Baird system for the BBC. He adopted another system. But here's a wee fact that you won't know. John Reith was an engineer, and he studied at the Royal Technical College, now Strathclyde University. And one of his fellow students there was a young man from Helensburgh called John Logie Baird. So they'd met as students at the Royal Technical College as young engineers. Nice seeing you, says Margaret Delia. Have I said that right? Delia. Margot Delia. Is that right, Margot? Wonderful. Dinky-Doo to you. Lovely to have you with us. And welcome, welcome, welcome. A fantastic program this morning, I say. So there we are. Now, I think it's time I pushed off. You guys are wanting to get on. Make sure you subscribe. Very, very important. Everybody subscribe to Scottie McClue's YouTube channel. Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 about it. I want to come back home to Scotland before I pop my clogs, Scottie. I'm 64 now. And where is it you are at the moment, Tam? Just tell us once more again. You'll not be popping your clogs for another 50 years. So you can take your time, 50 years anyway. A minimum of 50 years. So fantastic stuff. Where is it you are, Tam? Just remind us all where you are right now. Tremendous. We like that. We like that. That's excellent. Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10, I say. Wonderful. So we'll see what's what. Right. Time I wasn't here. Push off time. This is Scottie McClue saying Dinky-Doo to every single one of you. Thanks for joining us this morning. Thanks for being part of our random pop-up. And I'll see you all again soon. Gordon Robertson, nice to have you pop up again, Scottie. Goodbye from me and a mischievous Oliver and a mischievous Gordon as well, no doubt. Stretford, Scottie, you're in Stretford. Fantastic. Well, I send love to Stretford and love to every single one of you. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Take care, everybody, as you go. Goodbye, everybody. Auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, and a cheerio. Have a lovely day, guys. Dinky-Doo.